Hey everybody, it's Dr. Lady J here. Listen, I wanted to come on tonight because this month I'm calling December Picking Up the Pieces, y'all. It's been a rough couple of months for me. Like it just seems like everything has been going on. And let me just pause right here because if somebody don't come over here and help me to get this thing to stop beeping, for those of you who know me, you know that I'm short. I'm only 5'1". Okay. Now my son says I'm a little bit shorter, but I don't know. I last time I checked, I'm 5'1". So I have stood on this chair that I'm sitting on. I have another what do they call, like a footstool kind of ladder thing to stand on, that I'm still not tall enough to reach it, and this thing is driving me up a wall. I haven't been home long enough, but I said I think I'm going to maybe tomorrow or Friday, when I'm a little settled, maybe I can get the fire department to come out. I just need a tall person to stand on a chair or a ladder and shut this thing up because it is driving me up a wall. I've been doing shows this week and people are like, you know, your alarm is buzzing. I'm like, no kidding. Yeah, it is buzzing. It definitely is buzzing. But that's just, if that's the least of my worries, then I'm good, because it's been a rough couple of months, dealing with death, dealing with these little ninjas breaking into my car and, my SUV and tearing it up to the point where it was total, and I shared that with all of you. It's just been a rough couple of months. And today, even as I sit here, talking to you guys, I'm having I don't know, it's like a tension headache. And even though I've been, trying to rest and everything, it's just been so much going on. So tonight was nice because I was able to go to one of my friends, Glenn Gilhar. I was able to go to his event. It was really nice seeing everybody. Sometimes you just got to get out and you got to just, go meet people, go talk to them. Y'all see, I haven't even got my nails done. Y'all know Dr. Lady J always has her nails done, but y'all, since I've been in school doing like this, I'm like, look, no nails this semester. I got to get my work done. And so that's what I've been doing. But I just wanted to come on and do a video, just talking about picking up the pieces because sometimes it's so easy to get stuck in that mode. I had my friend Steve on, I think it was Monday night, where we talked about depression, anxiety, seasonal affective disorder, just talking about those things that really cause a lot of tension, a lot of stress. And there are people who are literally, taking themselves out because they don't want to live anymore. And so I really, wanted to talk about that because I do get those calls. I get those text messages, Dr. Lady J, I don't want to live anymore. I don't want to be here. I've been in a situation, I've made those statements. I've tried to do things, to take myself out only to realize like, girl, listen, you got a lot to live for. Don't even try it. You have a lot to live for. And so I just want to say that to those of you who may be going through something like, we go through it. We have to understand that even as we progress and as we get older in life. I think when I was younger, I thought as I got older and I got into my 40s and my 50s and all of that, that things would get a lot easier. No, life would just be life, and and so we find ourselves in situations, things that are happening that we thought would never happen to us before. Again, life be lifing, and it's not too much that we can do except go through it, And so I was sharing with my son even tonight that, sometimes it's just good to let other people know what you're going through. Let other people know that it's been a tough time. A lot of people are like, oh, Lady J, you're so transparent. Well, I had to learn how to be like this. And I've learned that um, being able to sit in front of this camera or talk to people and let them know that it's okay. Like we're all going through something. And the fact that there's still people on the planet who pretend that life is so perfect, I don't have anything going on. I'm that person, I'm doing great. Everything is fine. No, you're not. Everybody got something going on, and the moment that you acknowledge that you have something going on and that things are taking place in your life, that's when you start winning. And that's when when you're able to sit back and say, you know what, okay, yup, today was a rough day, it's been hard, but I'm gonna get through this. I had my moments last month where I was just like emotional. I'm crying, and I'm, because for one, when you're in school and you're trying to get your work done and you're trying to pay attention, but you still got life going on. I still got the podcast, I'm still a chaplain, I still got assignments due. I want to go see my grandbabies. Holidays are coming up. Death hit us, all of a sudden, and it's just so much that's been going on. And even some things that I hadn't talked about. My close friends know about those things, but people are like, "Well, how are you holding on?" One of the ways that I hold on, like I said, is, and I tell people, your spiritual life. Like, I don't want to force anybody to say you got to be a Christian or you got to serve God, but what do you tap into? Like what is it that you tap into to really get you back on track? There's a lot of motivational videos and things out here that you can read, and you got to do something to get yourself back on track, and go back a couple nights ago and watch the show that Steve did, Steve and I did. And Steve is actually a marriage and family therapist and also a psychotherapist. And he gave out some really good tips. Sometimes you need medication to get through this. Sometimes you need therapy. But you got to find out, you got to go in and find out what you need, because the one thing that we can't do is we can't get stuck. I know what it feels like to get stuck. We cannot get stuck. We got to be in a point where I always say, have your party, put your balloons up, go ahead and cry, get it out the way, scream, pull the covers up over your face. But then you got to get up and you got to pop those balloons and you got to start moving on and picking up the pieces. So, I want to give a shout out to my dad. Oh my goodness, like my dad is so amazing. And, you know, um, I said to a lot of I'm on a prayer line every morning at 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., right? I love that group. And I was saying to them, I'm asking God to give me the faith like my dad, because my dad is so like, his faith is so strong. He just believes, like, he believes that if he prays, that God is going to answer that prayer. And so my dad, when I told him the situation about my SUV, he was like really calm and, walking me through it, and what kind of vehicle are you looking for? And I'm just on 10 at this point because I want to beat the crap out of the children that watched me getting out of my car and came over and tore my SUV up. I want them to go down to the authorities. Like, my mind is just all over the place, right? And my dad is like really calm. This is what we got to look for. This is, in this calm voice and everything. And I appreciate that so much, because had I acted on my emotions of, everything that was going on, that impacts me on getting a vehicle, what kind of vehicle I was going to get. I probably would have been putting out a lot more money than I need to. My payments probably would have been higher than they needed to be. But let me just say this. Um, there was a moment when I was just like, you know what, God, I've cried. I worried. I've been angry. Um, y'all saw my video. I just was in shock, because nobody expects to come outside and your vehicle is torn up, let alone you're thinking you're going to pick it up in maybe a week or two when you find out that it's totaled and it's not your fault. And I was just going through all kinds of emotions, and I was just like, I went to school that morning, and by the afternoon, I was just like, you know what? I can't worry about this no more. Like, I really, there's nothing I can do. God, you already know I can't do an increase in anything when it comes to money. And my fear was that my car payments were going to be astronomical, because that vehicle was only a year old, and I got, I'm working on my credit, y'all. It's getting there, but I got a lot of work to do. And That's a whole nother story. We're gonna have a conversation about that. We're gonna talk about credit. Um, because sometimes decisions that we make in life really affect our credit. And I remember before I got divorced, I had A1 credit. After my divorce, of just struggling year after year after year, like it just plummeted, you know. And I had to do what I had to do. You know, some people didn't get paid on time because I had to pay my son's school bill. You know, I had to put gas in the car. I had to pay the rent. You know, and it takes years to recover. And I'm still in that recovery phase, and I'm not ashamed to say it. You know, when I was starting to do good, then all of a sudden I had a stroke. Then I had another stroke. Then I had another stroke. And the struggle began because now you're on a disability check. Y'all, if y'all ain't seen a disability check, then so again, some people didn't get paid. And my last stroke was in 2017. So I'm in the recovery phase of, because I haven't gotten any credit cards. I haven't done anything, you know. I'm just in recovery mode because of life, you know. And so going into trying to get another car within a year, I was stressed to the hilt. Like, you know, these people, their computer's gonna blow up when they put my name in there, like that kind of thing. But when I tell you that God worked that thing out, I, mm, God worked it out. I want to thank everybody for your prayers, your calls, your support, for your encouragement. Some of you I didn't even get a chance to get to because I got so many calls and people were so worried and, you know, wondered if there's anything they could do. And so I just want to say that I do have another vehicle. I think I've had it for uh, a week. Hmm. I got it last Tuesday, I believe. Today's Wednesday. Yeah, I've only had it for a week. I've only had it for a week. God blessed. Car payment is lower than it was for my SUV. When I tell you God is amazing, and when you just finally let go and you just woosah, like, you know what, I can't. I can't, God. I can't, you know, and that's exactly what I did. I was just like, I can't. Like I was at my dad's house and I just went and sat down and I was just looking around like, I can't, you know, I can't do this. I can't cry anymore. I can't think about this anymore. It's just too much. And I was like, God, you gotta take this. I cannot. I really cannot. Like I was done last when was it last Tuesday? Yeah, it was last Tuesday. And I was just like, I'm gonna go because you know I wanted my dad to go with me because he knows about cars. Yeah, I don't know anything about cars. I could ride in your car and get out of it. And if you gave me the keys and said, you know, go get my car, I wouldn't even know what car it is. I am so bad when it comes to cars and knowing anything about them. So I always want, you know, my dad to go with me, and I'm looking at cars and stuff because he really knows his business when it comes to cars and deals and that kind of stuff and safety and those kinds of things. And so it's a blessing to be able to have him, you know, to still go with me at my age. And I'm sitting there like clueless. And I was saying to myself, girl, you better learn how to, you better learn how to figure out how to get, you know, what these cars are about because you really don't know anything. And but I just want to thank God for working everything out. And when I tell you that when you just finally release and let go, and you just like, you know what, I'm just gonna pick up the pieces and keep it moving. That's what I did. And man, that moment of getting a car in my name, uh, with stuff I got going on, it went by so fast and everything was, I was sitting there like, wow, you know, insurance is lower, the car payment is much lower, and it's a better vehicle, you know, and that's what God does when you trust him, when you hold on to him. And he sees how we act, and he saw how I was acting last week. I had to ask him, Lord, please forgive me, because I know I could do better than what I did, but I was just stressed, you know. And when you don't have money like that, and you're looking at your finances, you're looking at your bills, and then you look like another add-on, like I don't need this right now. But I just wanted to pause and say thank you to God for everything. And I'm so blessed to be able to have my dad to go with me and have that calm. And you know, that's what we all need. We all need that person who is just calm, who's always on the woosah. They're always on the woosah. You know, always on the woosah. You can, you know, me, I'm on 10. I'm on 1,000. I'm on 3,000, you know. But then you got somebody that's just even. My friend Steve is like that. He's just woosah. He's like Charlene. Troy, same way. Charlene, because they know me. Like when I've had enough, or if somebody is really, you know, because I try not to be around. I don't like drama. I don't like he said, she said, and this back and forth kind of stuff. And when you keep coming at me with that, like that's a trigger. I go from 0 to 3,000. And sometimes my friends have to step in. My friend Spring, Charlene, bring it down a notch. So those are things that I'm still working on. Going into 2026, child, I thought I was going to leave them in 2025, but I got a few more days left. I got a few more days. Like I said, this is called picking up the pieces, and I'm trying to pick up those broken pieces and throw them away because I don't need to take them into 2026. But I'm like a you know, no nonsense, no foolishness. And when you keep coming at me, I'm just like, listen, enough already. I'm not, you know, I'm not for the foolishness and when I tell you to stop and you keep on going. But anyway, so I just wanted to come on and just share a little bit of, you know, what my November was like. And my, as a matter of fact, I want to say some of these things started creeping into my life around the end of September. I just started noticing little things happening here and there, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? What's going? And it just started building and building. You know how you hear that music, dun 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 dun, dun, and it just gets louder and louder. And that's what I was feeling like, and I'm just like, you know what? Like I did last Tuesday. Mm-mm. I am done. I'm not. I can't. I'm done. And so let's hope that you know December is going to be a better month for all of us. I was talking to someone today, and they were saying like, "This has been such a great year for me," and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so happy for you." They were like, "My whole year has been great," and that's wonderful. That's what you want to hear. My year was going really good up until, like I said, the end of September, and then it was just like everything was happening. And sometimes it's just a test of our faith, and it's a test of not only a test, but it's also teaching us what we still need to work on. And I'm learning that I've grown a lot. Y'all, because some people know me. Some people know me from back in the day. And they know the person that y'all see now ain't the person that was back in the day. And so, but I've grown a lot, but I still see those areas where I need growth, you know, that I need to work on, that I need to focus on, that I don't need to be so triggered by. And so but you know, um, don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up because we're all going to have moments like that and we just got to work through it. And that's why it's important, like we talked about on Monday, to have accountability partners in your life, to have people in your life that you can call and say, you know what, I'm getting on my nerves today. You know, I can't stand me today, or I did something stupid today, or I'm on 10, you know. And we have those people who will come into our life and they listen. Do you have people in your life that listen and they hear you, or do you have people in your life that listen to respond. Make sure you have people in your life who are listening to actually hear what you have to say. And not only that, they're listening and they come back with food for thought, things that are really going to edify your soul and lift you up. Those are the kind of people that we need in our life. Um, what else did I want to share? Um, what else did I want to share? I'm pretty sure there was something else I wanted to share, but it's kind of escaping me right now. But I just hope that as we go through this month of December, and today is December 3rd, I'm hoping that we will begin to understand the importance of leaning on each other, finding people that we can really lean on and people that we can connect with. And we know that they're our support system because we all need that. Don't walk around holding everything in and feeling like nobody understands or you're the only one going through it. We're all going through something. We can all put on a good face. We can do our makeup. We can do our hair. We can dress up. The men can look as fine as they want to look. But, sometimes on the inside, there's brokenness, there's pain, there's heartache, there's sorrow, there's sadness. There's just so much going on the inside. But the outside, we looking gorgeous. We looking glam. We looking good. Don't be afraid to sometimes be transparent and just open up and just say, hey, it is what it is. Today's not a good day. This is what I'm going through. Can't share with everybody because everybody will not understand and they won't know what to say. But for those people in your life that you know that you can go to and you can talk to them and you can share that moment that you're going through, do it. We all are going to have those moments in our life where we're going to fall, but we can get back up and we can pick those pieces up and we can continue to move on in our life. And I want to give a shout out to all of my classmates. We did it, y'all. We did it. We did it. We had, I think, I enjoyed this semester so much. I mean, I'm trying to think how many times I've been in school. But the last couple of times I was in school, it was during COVID. And so listen, I had my cap and gown on. I was sitting in my kitchen in my chair just like this. It was COVID. And both times I was never got a chance to walk across the stage because it was during COVID. And never really got a chance to connect with my classmates outside of being on a computer, but being able to actually be in a classroom and being around people that are so they're different, thinking different, they're funny. We got to a point where we look out for each other. We're texting like, where you at, you good, here's the homework. um I really enjoyed my class, and I just want to say to all of my classmates that, man, this was so great. And I'm kind of sad that it's over because I'm going to miss y'all, but we're going to keep in touch. We definitely going to keep in touch because, um, as y'all know, Dr. Lady J, she always got something up her sleeve. And so I have surveyed the classroom. And so there's some things that I'm definitely going to be inviting my classmates to be a part of. But it was a really, really good school year. And it went by fast. We started in August. Like it went by so fast. But I think when you're doing something that you really like and being in this program, like I love the fact of just learning how to counsel, how to work with people, how to listen, like everything that we've learned, like it's been so amazing. And not only that, but just learning about yourself. One of the things that I hate to talk about sometimes is, you know, things that I've gone through. I don't necessarily want to talk about it. I feel like I've talked about it enough and let's move on. But in class, we were forced to talk about it. We had to do videos, we had to do papers on our life. And I learned, through my professors that the only way that I can be effective in helping other people with their problems is that I got to keep looking at, look at what you went through, look at what you accomplished. um are there any unaddressed issues? you know you've grown in some areas, but are there some things that you kind of glossed over and felt like you didn't need to talk about or deal with? Like, it's been an interesting semester, and the fact that we had to be open and transparent with the people in our class that we didn't know about. I some of the things that I heard about people, and I'm sure what they heard about me, we probably were looking at each other like, what? Like, what? You did what? And so, but it really helped you to see how people can change and people can grow. And like, I look at everybody in my class and I just have so much respect for them, so much respect for the journey that they were on and where they are now, where we all are now. And so it just went by too fast. So I'm just gonna miss everybody. But like I said, I'm sure we'll see each other, and I'm definitely going to be in contact because in that class, I got so many ideas of things that can be done. And my professors were great. Shout out to all of my professors. And it was just this was a blessing. And this is the best program that I've been in when it comes to school. And, you know, shout out to the professors because they made it happen. They made it real, they made it personable, and they made us think. They really made us think, and they pushed us. They pushed us. And not only did they push us, but as they're pushing us, they're letting us know that I believe that, okay, y'all, my lights just went out. I'm going to pause this for just a minute. Um, I know that there's a pause button on here, so let me just pause this for a minute because I got to figure out what just happened. This has been going on a lot, and I just got to figure out. Oh, there we are. There we are. I have a kill switch over here. So I learned that because a couple of nights ago it was going on while I was doing the show, and I'm like, you know what? Let me get a kill switch. So that's what I did. But the things we learned. But anyway, listen, that's all I had to say for tonight. And I just wanted to say that let December be the month. This is December 3rd. This is third Wednesday, December 3rd. I was gonna say Thursday. This is Wednesday, December 3rd. Let this be the month where we start picking up the pieces. We only have a few more days left in this month, y'all, which is so unbelievable. I feel like this year has just blown by. Uh, but God has blessed me to accomplish a lot. I hope He's blessed you to accomplish a lot as well. And listen, let's continue talking. Let's continue working on us. Let's continue enjoying life. But most of all, don't let life beat you up. Don't let life get you down. Donnie McClurkin said it best. We fall down, but we gotta get back up. Get back up again. Get back up again. He says it over and over in his song. Life is going to life. It really is. And, shout out to everybody who has been out there not just taking care of you and making sure that you're good, but you have really been out there like hitting the streets. We got people that's boots on the ground. We got people that are doing programs, transitional houses. Like, you are out there working and hustling for other people to make sure they are good. And so I want to give you a shout out as well, because I know it gets discouraging sometimes, because there's always people in the background who want to try to burst your bubble and what you're doing. And what I say to those people is, sit down, take two seats, take several seats, as a matter of fact, all the way in the back of the building, and sit yourself down. Because there's always people out here who want to tell you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, which way to turn, and all this kind of stuff. And they have no clue what you're going through, how you built, what you're doing, what it takes for you to keep it going. They don't have a clue. Don't be distracted by these clowns because that's what they are. And they belong in the circus. Just go on in the circus, because I'm gonna tell you something. Clowns get paid a lot. So that's what you are. So go in the circus. They get, we call people clowns, but go look and see how much clowns actually make. Because you're not making any money by getting on my nerves and the other people's nerves. So you might as well go and get paid for what you do. Be a clown in the circus or have your own show. That's what I tell them. Don't come over here trying to rain on my parade, because I'm gonna tell you where to go and how to get there. I ain't gonna cuss at you, but I'm gonna tell you how to go, where to go, and how to get there. And so don't be distracted by people who are minding your business. Sometimes people have nothing going on in their life, and the only thing, honey child, that they can find to do is mind your business. And if you turned all of your business over to them, they would probably be 6 feet under because they wouldn't be able to handle it. So don't be distracted by these people. And I always tell people, and I've always said this to my son, there will be haters out there. There will be people trying to pull you down. There will be people out there talking about you. There will be people who will try to do everything that they can to get on your last nerve because they want people to see, yup, that's who she is. That's who he really is. These people are out here. They wake up every morning. It is their job to get up every morning, to get on your nerves, to get on my nerves. But you know what? Let them do their job. And you continue doing your job, because when you look around, what they don't understand is the word elevate. They don't understand the word elevation. They don't understand the word called success and progress. And so as you begin to progress, as you begin to become successful, as you begin to elevate, just take a look over your shoulder and see where these people are. Because 99%, well, let me just go ahead and say 100% of them, if they ain't learned no lesson. Let me do the 99, because maybe it's 1% that might have learned along the way. But 99% of them, I know the ones that I look back at, child, they still in the same place. They still sitting in the same place, yip yap and talk and saying all kinds of stuff, ain't moved nowhere, ain't progressed, ain't got a degree, ain't got nothing, and they still sitting back talking about you. You are their main topic. And so I always thank them at the end of the year. I wish I could actually send them a gift and send them a card, because I always like to thank them at the end of the year, because all of the talking and the negativity that they do, they don't understand that they are actually building up your platform. They're actually building up what you do, because people are so nosy that they'll hear, oh, you know what, Lady J, such and such and such and such. Let me go on her page and see what she's doing. Let me find, oh, she over there. Let me go find. They don't understand that they are helping your algorithm. Let them do their job, because these are people you don't have to pay. And they don't understand they're working for you for free. Thank them at the end of the year. Tell them Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We hope you come back next year. So anyway, my name is Dr. Lady J. It is going to be, I'm going to put this out there into the atmosphere, that it's going to be a great December. And it has to be a great December, because I have to put my best foot forward. And I have to make sure that as I go along the way, that I continue to pick up the pieces, that I remember that God is faithful and true to his word. All I got to do is stand still. All I got to do is give him the request. All I got to do is mind my business and stand back and let him do his work and not put my hand in it. That's what I got to remember to do. What about you? And so I want to wish all of you a happy December. We only got a few more days, y'all. Just a few more days. And I said, Jesus, if you feel like it, come on back, because I am tired of this world and the street that I live on. So if you ain't busy and you feel like coming back to come get us, come on back, because I'm ready. I am ready. So anyway, y'all have a great rest of the week. Please have a great rest of the week. Shout out to all of the candidates. Again, it was a great evening tonight. Just seeing so many of the candidates in one room. I am looking forward to this political season and talking to people who can have intelligent conversations. Please don't email or text me if you have no intelligence and you don't know what you're talking about. I'm not doing that no more. I already did that with one person this year who shall remain nameless because I already talked about him the other night. I'm not doing that anymore this year. I'm about intelligent conversations and don't insult me with your nonsense if you don't know what you're talking about. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm Dr. Lady J. Y'all know I got to be a little sarcastic sometimes because that's the only kind of language that some people understand. So let's get to it tomorrow night. Make sure you tune in. The guys are coming back. Y'all know I was talking about Mr. Chocolate the last time. Y'all know I love me some chocolate. Men, I just love them. I just look at them. I don't do nothing with them. Yeah, mm-mm. I just love them and I like to look at them. And so they're all coming back tomorrow night. B6 108 organization, they're coming back tomorrow night. Troy Jones is the founder of, and he's done an amazing job. You want to talk to some intelligent men and have great conversation, make sure you tune in tomorrow night. All right. So my name is Dr. Lady J. I am looking forward to the end of this month and the end of this year. And like I said, Jesus, if you want to come back, come on back because I'm ready. All right, y'all have a good night. Have a great night. And I'm going to try to go in here and get some rest. I think I'm going to watch a Tubi movie. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I just need some popcorn. All right, y'all have a good night. Take care.